Welcome to News from Down Home, where I'm going to talk about news from my hometown, Princess Anne, Maryland. Was a young child there. My family was from there. My family had moved there to that area in 1903, so they've been there for a long time. And that was my home. So first, I want to talk about. I was reading a book about from a Look Up series, a walking tour of Princess Anne, Maryland, Look Up America series. And the next house I want to talk about is the Charles Jones House. Now, it's on Somerset Avenue, on the northwest corner of Broad Street. I think it's still there. I don't want to give you the address because somebody might still live there, but it's a nice little house. It was yellow, had siding on it yellow, but early deeds indicate a house stood on this prominent corner as early as 1743. Charles Jones obtained the property in 1782, and the house is estimated to date to that time. Jones is thought to have been an innkeeper and may have operated a tavern here. He died broke several years later, and this lot was purchased by John Wolford. Remember, I mentioned John Wolford, the Wolford Elsie House, who rented out the house. Now, renovations in this house reveal 18th century timers, such as with bark still in place in the upstairs rooms. Timbers, I'm sorry, 18th century timbers with bark still in place in the upstairs rooms. So I think that's very interesting, and I'd love to see it, but I only see it from the outside because many of these houses, somebody lives there, or maybe they're abandoned, but that's which is sad because many of the houses in Princess Anne, the historical houses, are crumbling. But in the newspaper on this day, Tuesday, August 5th, 1913, there's some very interesting things. One is I like to let you know that Miss Elsie Bloxam of Charlton, Virginia, has been visiting Mrs. John Dixon, and now she's returned home. And then Messrs. B.H. Dougherty, Gordon Tull, and Maurice Adams left last Tuesday for a week's stay at Atlantic City. I wonder what they're doing there. Dr. Thomas Baker, director of the Toms Institute, Port Deposit, Maryland, paid a brief visit to Princess Anne last Saturday. Miss Annie V.E. Holbrook of Baltimore is visiting her cousin, Miss Euphemia Wolford, on Prince William Street. Mr. R.D. Langford of New York spent the weekend in Princess Anne at the home of his mother, Mrs. Elizabeth Langford. Now, thing of note, there was a small wheat crop. Cecil County threshermen have raised the prices of threshing from 4 to 5 cents a bushel. Whew. One last thing I want to mention about this today. This is from the Marylander and Herald, which was the newspaper of record until the 1980s. The prohibitionists were going to rally in Baltimore, and they had a meeting last week. Now, remember, my great grandfather ran for a county commissioner on the prohibition ticket. So the session was expected to be a red letter day for prohibitionists. Prohibitionists wanted to ban alcohol sale and consumption. That didn't work out too good, did it? But it was a moral issue, basically, rather than a political issue, except when you consider that they got the income tax amendment, particularly to replace the taxes on, in some people's minds, as they promoted it, to replace the taxes on liquor that the government would lose. So we got the income tax amendment because of that, and then people say, well, hey, look, we got our liquor back, but then we didn't get the taxes taken off. So we stay with that. So sometimes the best moral intentions have the worst outcomes. So think of that. But anyway, that's news from down home. I hope that you enjoyed it.